Many people look at a 2008 Oklahoma quarter and think it is only worth 25 cents. But that is not always true. Some rare error coins from this year have sold for very high prices. A few special 2008 Oklahoma quarters have sold for $200, $500, $730, even about $1,190. This is why people who collect coins always check their change. A normal-looking coin can be worth big money if there is a real mint mistake on it. Some high-grade examples, even without an error, have also gone for strong prices. One example graded MS-69 sold for about $750. These values make the 2008 Oklahoma quarter one of the more interesting coins from the final year of the state quarter program. The 2008 Oklahoma quarter was made at the Denver Mint, which is why it has the letter D on the front. This coin came out in the last year of the 50-state series, which ran from 1999 to 2008. These coins were very popular in the United States because each state had its own special picture on the back. Oklahoma's design shows a scissor-tailed flycatcher, the state bird. It is flying across Indian blanket wildflowers, which creates a bright and pretty look on the coin. Many people think it is one of the most beautiful designs from the last year of the program. The coin is made of copper and nickel. It weighs about 5.67 grams, which is the same as other modern quarters. Its diameter is 24.3 millimeters. The edges are reeded, and the front shows George Washington. The mintage for the 2008 Oklahoma quarter was very large. About 194.6 million of these coins were made. Because so many were produced, most of them are only worth face value unless they have an error or a very high grade. In normal used condition, most of these coins are valued between 25 cents and 95 cents. In uncirculated shape, the value can go up to $1 to $2.47, sometimes more if the coin is a good strong strike. Even though the 2008 Oklahoma quarter is common, some have real mint errors that make them worth much more. One of the most valuable errors found on this coin is the improperly annealed planchet error. Annealing is the heating process used to soften metal blanks before they are struck. If the blank is not heated correctly, the color of the coin turns odd, sometimes darker or spotted. A 2008 Oklahoma quarter with this exact error, graded MS-66, sold for around $1,190. This is one of the highest prices recorded for an error on this quarter. Another valuable error is the doubled die. A doubled die occurs when the die used to strike the coin has shifted during preparation, causing letters or images on the coin to look doubled. On the 2008 Oklahoma quarter, a doubled die example graded MS-65 sold for around $520. This happened because the bird wings and some letters showed clear doubling, which collectors love to find. Doubled dies are usually easy to see under good light or with a small magnifying glass, so this is one error that people can look for at home. A missing clad layer error is another important type of mistake. A modern quarter has an outer nickel layer over a copper core. But sometimes, during production, the clad layer does not bond correctly or falls off. When that happens, the coin shows the copper core on one side or on both sides. A 2008 Oklahoma quarter with a missing clad layer on both sides sold for about $1,100. It looked very different from a normal quarter because most of the silver-colored layer was gone, leaving a copper appearance. These errors are easy to notice, which makes them fun for people who check their coins. There are also off-center strikes. An off-center strike happens when the blank is not placed correctly under the die. Part of the design may be cut off, or the rim may be uneven. The value depends on how far off the design is. Small off-center strikes do not bring much money, but large ones can bring $50 to $200 or more, depending on how the coin looks. Some 2008 Oklahoma quarters have strong off-center errors that collectors want, especially if the date is still visible. Another type of error seen on this coin is the double collar or double rim error. This happens when the collar that holds the blank in position shifts or hits the coin twice. A known double collar example of the 2008 Oklahoma quarter sold for around $155 online. This type of error makes the rim look thicker or doubled, and it can make the coin look unusual but interesting. There are also broad strike errors. This is when the collar ring fails and the metal spreads outward, making the coin wider than normal. A broad strike Oklahoma quarter easily stands out because the edge looks smooth and stretched. These errors can bring $40 to $150, depending on how strong the strike is and how even the spreading looks. High-grade coins are also worth more even without an error. A strong uncirculated 2008 Oklahoma quarter, especially if it has no marks and a bright original shine, can be valuable. As mentioned earlier, one extremely high-grade example, graded MS-69, sold for $750 at auction. Lower high-grade examples like MS-67 and MS-68 can sell for $40 to $150, depending on market demand. Most quarters do not survive in this condition because they were used in circulation and picked up scratches quickly. Check for doubling or O. Collectors like the Oklahoma quarter because it is part of the final set of the state series. Many people try to collect all 50 designs, and the last 5 states, including Oklahoma, are especially popular. The bird and flowers design is detailed, which makes it a good coin to check for doubling or other mistakes. If you want to search for errors at home, you can look at the bird wings, the wildflower edges, the letters in Oklahoma, and the rim of the coin. If anything looks out of place, doubled, missing, or strangely shaped, it could be an error. To check your coin well, you only need a bright light and a simple magnifying glass. Hold the coin close and look for unusual marks or shapes. If you think your coin is special, you can show it to a coin shop or send it to a grading company. Coins that are graded by professional services usually sell for higher prices because buyers trust the label and the confirmed error.